Alright guys, so currently playing some Elsword, just got into a party for Wally's Underground Laboratory Hell mode. I just realized it's going to be an absolutely epic video because we currently have three, not one, not two, three Blade Masters and one Reckless Fist as our party, so this is going to be quite interesting. And yeah, doing it on my new computer, so let's get it on, let's go. And apparently everybody uses Shockwave Cutter instead of Divider. But, you know, it is what it is. And I just realized I'm really zoomed in. Apparently the settings did not save from last night, which is kind of unfortunate for the entire everybody, because this is so not what I'm used to. Oh my god, okay, hold on a second. Let me zoom out, there we go. Yeah, just a little bit too close for comfort there. But anyway, and we're going to awaken, and apparently one of the Reckless Fists disconnected or decided that he was too good for this. Or, sorry, Blade Master, sorry. One of the Blade Masters disconnected. Oh wait, this is Bahamut C1. I actually was in a dungeon party with him before. Quite interesting. He's a good Blade Master. He's actually the reason why I want to switch this right here, Giga Drive Seismic Tremor to Giga Drive Limiter. Get that free buff, and also Shockwave Cutter versus Shockwave Divider is whatever. Don't really care either way for it. As my pet goes ahead and lets cast stuff. Oh my god, why can't I double? There we go. And there we go. Yeah. Cutter is great, but yeah, Cutter's great, but you know, is what it is. I'm not a big fan of it. Oh my god, I can't go down. Why can't I double? Whatever. God, I wish I could catch. Yeah, so as I said, new computer, apparently double tapping down doesn't work anymore on this one. So I'm not going to be able to do quick jumps through platforms and stuff like that. Whatever, just something else to get used to. See, like here, I would have already pressed the down button twice, and life would have been real easy, but, you know, it is what it is. By the way, if it sounds a little bit different, yeah, I got different music, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all it is, just different music. But yeah, that is really annoying that I can't go through platforms anymore. Oh, I didn't realize he already did. Yeah, see, like right here, I should have been able to go straight to the platform, but apparently I can't anymore. I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know what that can be. Oh my god, he caught that. That's actually impressive. Just because I have it, just come on and use it because I don't. care for these cards. You know, a lot of people collect them. Oh, Awakening Potion, I just get it. I don't care if it's dead or not. There we go. Freeze time. Yeah, I should be able to... I don't know. For whatever reason, I just can't jump through stuff, so I'm gonna do my best to try to figure that out before I look to record anything else. Alright, time for the big boss. So, we got two highly physical damage dealing characters, so we're good on that end of things. And we got our Reckless Fist that hopefully is as epic as I hope he is, so that he can do all sorts of good old-fashioned magic damage when we hit. Oh my goodness, why am I... I'm just not playing well. And one of the benefits that you'll see of being a Reckless Fist is just this right here. The fact that you can get back all this health just by literally pressing buttons. It makes you really, really viable, especially in tight spots. Pretty sure we won't use the same thing at the same time. Guild skill just procs, so I get back X amount of HP for the fact that I was hurt. And that is the Reckless Fist using his hyperactive like a boss. Oh god, the damage is real. Well, not really, but it's just plain bad. Oh wow, I just got knocked up into that, and I'll just go ahead and put that out there. Should be dead. Yeah. I didn't get to hyperactive this time around, sadly, but I'll try to in the next video to pop off the hyperactive, just like how Bahamut's Z1 or Bahamut Z1 did, and just like how Royalier. I'm apparently the only person who didn't do it. So, oh well, it is what it is. Free coins. By the way, I'm currently going for the mount that this game owes me because I've been playing it for way too long to not have a mount. And Bahamut's Z1 is going to get MVP because he just does damage like that. And yeah, I really want to get a skill reset, but I also don't want to have to do my... Actually, you know what? Forget it. We're going to do it now. So we need a skill reset. Just the one skill, really. Oh, wait. This is the other thing. If you are a blacksmith, always remember, every hour, click this thing. Get it out of the way. 6 subject get played. +5. Advance dismantle it. Nope. Lacking mithril, so you know what that means. Comes good old-fashioned pet food. Alright, anyway. Okay, so... Here... Oh, wait, no. I was gonna check my skills, right? So one thing also that you guys will notice while I'm still recording here is that I picked up both Shadow Thrust and Shadow Pierce. The reason why I did that is because Shadow Thrust, even though it does 703 going through targets, and Shadow Pierce does 612 and stopping at a target, it's all situational. So if I Shadow Step through somebody and there's a target right behind it, and I want to stop at it and literally just activate my core so that it can fly through, because I usually Shadow Step through somebody while I'm awakened. If I Shadow Step through and I want to stop at a person, I press C. If I Shadow Step through and I want to pierce through because there's like 3 or 4 mobs right there and I want the core to fly through all of them, press X. And that's the reason why. So they're both situational like that. I also had, I think, a point left over, so I ended up putting it into Finishing Slash just because. But yeah, ever since they changed the height of Seismic Tremor, which, by the way, in this picture right there, that little mini picture, you can see the size it used to be in terms of height. They nerfed it down to where the tremors actually only go as high as your face, which, of the character. So as you can see, it only goes up to, like, I don't know, just a little bit taller than my pet right there. Yeah, that actually inadvertently nerfed it, because similar to Flame Geyser and Triple Geyser and all of these geyser-based moves that characters in Elsword have, where they're vertical, the number of hits actually increase with how tall it is. So Flame Geyser, as you'll notice, has like multiple hits that just stack up and up just because of how tall it is, because of the hitboxes on the mobs. So what I've seen is that mobs that are about 1 stage floor high get hit at least one time by a move, unless it says continuous hits, blah, blah, blah. Mobs that are 2 floors high, so like for example, a floor is the best part about being an Altier. I can show it right here. So a floor is this. So, as you can see, my character is about 1 floor high. If I jump up, it's now 2 floors. If I can get up there, there we go. That's 2 floors. Now my character wants to go through platforms, which is kind of funny. So this is 2 floors right here. So when I jump, that's 2 floors. This would be 3 floors from the bottom to there. That's 3 floors high. So there's bosses in this game that are X amount of floors high, where what I found with Seismic Tremor is, or with Tremor versus Limiter, is that the Tremor would literally hit a mob, lift it up into the air, so it would end up hitting twice, because now it's 2 stories high, and then that mob would get carried all the way down, getting hit multiple times until it reached the end of the Tremor, which is great, absolutely fantastic. But then when you nerf the height, it only gets knocked up the one time, and it gets carried less distance. So you pretty much cut the damage in half. So think of it as like a right angle triangle with a with 30 and 60 as the other 2 degrees. So you draw a right angle triangle, and then you take the the base length of that triangle and you shrink it. Or sorry, no, you take the hypotenuse of that triangle and you shrink it. So now you have a height and a length that are shorter, because the hypotenuse is now shorter. Therefore, you're not going to do, it's not as big. Let's just put it that way. It's just not as big. Therefore, if it's not twice as big, it's going to do half as damage. That's what I found. But then again, I could be completely wrong. There's other Blade Masters on here that probably just say there's no difference between the two. They just like this one over the other one. You get a free buff, blah, blah, blah. But what I've seen just from playing the game, and when it first came out, I absolutely loved Tremor. It was half side screen clear. It was great. You know, you pop that off once and you know that all the mobs that are in front of you are potentially just gone. And then it went from that to now I pop it off and maybe the 4 mobs in front of me are gone and everything else is kind of still there. So, I don't know. It just makes it very not worth. And if I go through the other skills, so the other one that he has is I wouldn't be surprised if he also has Blade Mastery, which increases your crit stat, which is great, but when it comes to free attack speed and accuracy, I like better, because you're already going to stat crit. Once you get above a certain number, it doesn't make sense anymore. At least that's my point of view. You know, if you're above 50%, unless you're going to hit 100, unless you're going to hit 66% or 100%, there's no point in stacking more crit. You want to put on other stats. So I was trying to get as much crit as possible, but once I hit 50%, being a Blade Master, you want to be efficient, so you want to be able to attack as quickly as possible, because a lot of your damage is based off of basic attacks and being able to gain enough mana and to be able to pop off abilities that also do physical damage. So that's the reason for that. I don't PvP, so that's the reason why you see a lot of these skills here just pretty much sitting here AFK MIA. But when I did used to PvP, and I also am not going to spend the money because I also know in Korea that this right here, the skill tree page expansion, was based on ED. In-game characters couldn't buy it. You didn't have to pay to be able to increase your skill pages, so I'm pretty much boycotting that. I increased counter chance because I don't like statting accuracy on my gear, and the way I saw it was if I passively am able to hit people, and I already have my other skills maxed out, then why not? But this skill literally got maxed out because I already had hit max on the skills that I use all the time, with the exception of finishing slash. I just put 1 point in just to have it, but when the time comes and when level cap increases and all that, what'll end up happening is Infinity Cause based on the whole knockdown rate thing again, and again, I don't PvP much, but not knocking down boss monsters by 15% is actually pretty good, in my opinion. Compared to, I think the max is like 17, which is, I think, 1 extra hit, so I'm just like, whatever. But for counter chance right here, increasing your accuracy, I allow you to be able to press X when waking up and not knock down people. The way I see it is, especially with the raid bosses and stuff like that, if I'm able to guarantee that I can hit with every one of my abilities, then it doesn't really matter the damage that I have. It's just when I'm making the most efficient use of my mana. So I will guarantee that every single one of those 285% continuous hits will hit. Or I'm making sure that every single one of those 581 and 155% continuous hits will hit. So that's the reason why I think accuracy passively makes sense. Statting it on doesn't make sense, and at the end of the day, like, my accuracy without statting on anything was already 20.9%. Plus this makes it, now I'm at 46.9%, I think so. Yeah, 46.9%. And then you throw on this, so 46.9, 51.5? Yeah, 51.5% accuracy. So I'm already above 50% accurate, and now it doesn't really matter. Like, I should be able to hit every single thing in this game. It doesn't matter what it is. Evasion stat is only at 12%. Sadly, I should have this higher. That way that mobs can't hit me, but it's kind of like that 4th stat that I would increase. My crit stat currently with this title gives about 7 or so percent. Let me see where does it actually say? Critical 1,130. The actual crit numbered for my character, if I take this stat, or if I take this off. Secret Buster. So this is the normal title I just run. So there's my normal crit without my pet being active. It's 51.45. And this is the reason why. So with crit, it takes your base damage, times it by 1.5% or 150%. So it adds another 50% to that damage and applies it to the mob. Now, a lot of people stat on add damage, reduce damage, which I get for PvP. What's the point of crit when your damage isn't high because your character gets nerfed down, etc., etc., etc. So add damage, reduce damage makes perfect sense. But when you're a PvE-based character, where all you do is run dungeons, get gear, play the game for the content, it makes more sense to be able to do 50% more damage all the time than it does to do an additional, I'm currently sitting at about 10, an additional 10% damage. So to be able to get up to 50% here, the amount of add damage I would need is ridiculous, because the add damage that adds up to 20% is about 2,400 or so. That's an additional 20% of your base damage being added to whatever you're hitting, right? 20%. Now, I just want you to sit there and absorb that for a second. You're going to hit all the time for 20% more damage. Or you can make it where pretty much every other hit does 50% more damage. So you do 2 hits at 20% and you're, stacking on add damage. You get it all the way up to, okay, I do an additional 20% damage on all of my abilities. That's great. I'm currently doing, for every 2 hits, 10% more damage just because I have more crit than you. So for every 2 hits, I do 10% more damage than the other person. Now, as a secondary stat, like if I were able to afford or be able to farm and not be going to work and stuff, but if I was able to afford, oh my goodness, I just realized, holy, I nerfed myself big time. I need to change that. Yeah, my movement speed, jump speed took a massive hit. I didn't realize how much of it was gone without that title. So I'm going to have to change that real quick. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to change that today. So I'm also going to reset my gear apparently today. But if I was able to iron or item wedge, so get those 4 wedge things from doing the raid bosses, then yeah, I would definitely put in damage reduced damage in 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. That way, then that would be about 1,000 additional. So to what I already have, would double up. So that would be the extra 20% flat out. So I'd have the extra 20% damage that I'm already doing on basic hits. I would then have a chance to do 150 or another 50% on top of that on all of those hits, because now my character, you know, has all that additional. And also, why is this at what? Secret Buster. I'm missing 1.7% on my awakening time. That's interesting. Because I'm usually like capped out at 40, like exactly 40. And apparently I'm missing 1.75%. And if it's from that claw, I bet you it's from the claw. No, it's not from the claw, so what else have I changed recently? Other than the title, I don't think I changed anything else, so that's interesting. Okay, so I have 2 things that I gotta do. I gotta restat this awakening time, awakening charge, try and get it to be double what it is. That way then this will cap out at 40, which you really want 40. For my character, I want 40% because then I will always have 3 awakening beads. Whenever fever hits, it automatically reawakens me and I don't have to worry about the time running out, etc. It pretty much allows you to stay in Awakening 3 pretty much for the entire dungeon. So that's the reason why I prioritize Awakening time on Blade Master, because then you're Awakening 3, you're doing the maximum amount of damage that your character can do. You're constantly hitting... If you're constantly hitting mobs, you don't have to worry about the charge because you're awakened for so long, and you're making a lot of use out of your core because, you know, anytime that a boss decides to try and hit you, or like for example Type H decides to slap all over you, you have Big Shield being like, hey, guess what, I'm gonna reduce your damage. So that's the reason why I prioritize Awakening, or I prioritized Awakening time. I didn't even have to do it with stats. I ended up doing it with this good old Ancient Wyvern set. You get the 5 pieces of that automatically for free. You get Awakening time of 30%, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't think I will ever switch out of this right here, this accessory set, unless there's another one that gives me that same amount. Just for that reason. And yeah, that's pretty much how I break down my character. So that's how I built it. It has just over 50% crit without my pet's bonuses or anything like that, because currently it's hungry, and the way I see my pet is that it's here to give me stats, or give me items, so... also, and I know everybody on the forums be saying this, that, and the other about the passive abilities for all these characters and how they need to be buffed, etc., 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 because really and truly, what's 220 when you have 11,626? Well, the way I see it is that it's a passive. It is a passive, it is minuscule, but it is a passive. It is free. It is, you don't have to stat it, and which, by the way, in this game, you cannot find sockets to socket in more attack power. You can identify, like how I identified this blade here, the Fierce Darkness blade, which is what I was using before, and how, as you can see, physical attack level increase by 3.75, which, by the way, in this game, when it says physical attack level, it pretty much means increase your physical attack by this percentage. So you add those 2 numbers up, it's 3.75%, so you increase your physical attack of the weapon and everything else by 3.75%. Same thing like how my quick Grandize Man K3 blade, it's 0.75, so my magical attack was increased by 0.75%. So, shoot, what was I saying? So yeah, so you can identify items and get additional physical attack, but you can't actually get a stat, like a socketing item to socket into your gear anymore. There used to be one, same thing for magical, but they took it out of the game, completely took it out of the game. So you can't get those anymore to socket more physical attack to your character or more magical attack to your character. You're pretty much reliant on add damage and crit to increase your actual damage output. So the way I see it is, okay, well, they give you a passive. Now, yes, it sucks up a lot of points, but the way I see it is, okay, well, if I max out all my other abilities that I'm always going to use all the time because I'm not going to be PvPing, so it's literally just these 8 abilities that I'm going to be using all the time, prioritize the ones that are of the most importance, so make sure that this is max, this is max, this is max, this is this, etc. Once those are all maxed, why not? Why not get the free increased of 200 physical attack and the defense of plus 60? Why not then stack on top of that another 220 physical attack power? So it adds up now 420 physical attack power. It's pretty much like having an additional title. Oh, I don't know. What's that title called again? Oh, that's right. For those of you who haven't played this game, I'm sorry I'm being a little bit sarcastic about this title, but it's almost like you're adding on a free Power of Splendor. Because what? That gives you an additional 300 physical attack power, right? Passively, you're getting 420. And then you're getting physical defense instead of the additional 2% of physical attack power. So, I don't know. Kind of, pros, cons, they kind of balance out where it makes sense to get your passives and max them out just because you don't have to then worry about trying to stat on additional stuff. That's the way I see it. And again, that's only if, and that's just my way of building, but that's the only if you have already pretty much sectioned a character off. Like, if you want to be able to PvP, PvE, pretty much build a hybrid character that does all sorts of ridiculousness, then yes, leave your passives out, do exactly what the guides online do, etc., etc., etc. Just, you ignore pretty much this entire side of the page, and build your character however you want to build it. Oh, by the way, yes, I am currently single in this game. I do not have a partner of any kind, so if anybody watching this video, and you are a Eve or a Rena, and I will be biased. I'll be 100%. Oh, actually, you could be the mage girl. I can't remember what her name is. Aisha, that's it. Yeah, you can also be an Aisha. Like, I don't care. But you have to be an actual female. If you are not an actual female, I will not talk to you at all if you're playing one of those characters. I'm sorry. I'm just biased that way. If you're a guy, you should be playing that guy character in a game. That's just how it is. But yeah, you can completely ignore that side of the page because, there's different builds. They're not going to be as efficient, etc. For your character. And you're just not gonna be able to do everything with just one skill page if you put points into these things without getting, like, for example, without getting ground impact, or I don't know why people get earthbreak anymore. I know the stun is absolutely great, the hitbox is fantastic, but the percent chance to stun, or then it would be a knockdown. The fact that it costs 100 mana, cooldown 7 seconds, this just makes a lot more sense. It just really does. That's just my opinion. Same thing with Breaking Fists. I used to like, but not so much anymore. I used to love Burning Rush, the old Burning Rush, the one that you can literally sit there and spam on the dragon and not make it move. Yeah, that was fantastic. Mega Drill is similar. It just extends combos. Maximum Cannon is fantastic since they took away the fact that it used to knock down. Thank the Lord. And then, just for stylistic standpoints, do you want to be able to go through an enemy, or do you want to be able to suck them into a vortex? That's the difference between these two skills right here. Going through somebody costs 35, or suck them into a vortex and you continue your combos, and it costs you 40. But anyway, enough of me and my rambling. This is the only skill that I want to reset. Evacuation just costs too much. That's the reason why I got rid of it. Plus, I don't PvP anymore, so and the activation chance was kind of low. But yeah, this right here, I don't know why I just never really prioritized. This right here, Veteran versus Refined Physique. Now, Refined Physique, you would 100% agree that it is PvP. Because you're, automatic free damage reduction, right? So why not for PvE get Veteran? You have this. And with Bloody Axle, you're going to get a lot of your health back. Now, it can be tandem together, where you have Veteran proc because you're now below 50% HP, and the moment that you see that buff pop up, you proc this. So you go from, increasing your attack power by, I think it's like a maximum of like 6 or 7 or 8%. Maybe, okay, let's just say 10. So increase your attack power by 10% when you're below 50% HP, and then it switches over, so you go from 30 back down to 20. So it's like a fine balancing act, and I get a lot of people who use it, I get it, but it's also kind of masochistic, because then you kind of always want to be somewhere between 1 and 49% health, because then you're doing your maximum damage output. And I don't like that. I don't like having that low health. pretty much ever. I don't like playing that dangerous game, I guess you could say. I rather instead be able to have a boss slap me in the face and realize that 11.2% of its damage that it could have done to me was just wiped out because I have a refined physique. So, anyway, so that's the last comment I'm going to make about any of this. I'm going to respec this because, as I said, this just makes me sad. So I'm going to go on ahead and open up the item mall. So for those of you who have not been on Elsword, you're probably looking here at this UI and being like, oh my god, what the hell is all of this? This is insane. By the way, always read your system messages. Yeah, not really. I just try to sometimes. But I'm going to go ahead and open up the item mall. So when you're in the game, I completely forgot to introduce the guild. I'll do that after. So this is what you're going to see. The moment you click the item mall, this is what you're going to see. You can see I still have some Kaching. I'm not balling or anything like that for Kaching. I've seen people with a lot of more numbers that fill up a lot more of this white space. But yeah, I'm no baller when it comes to Kaching. But you're going to see the main page. It's going to show you the GM picks, hot items, new items. They only show 3 because, 3 is good like that. They did come out with a new stance for Raven. Now, this is 100% a Blade Master stance, but unfortunately, I became an instant fanboy when they came out with this whole new stance thing, and I just got all hype and bought the other stance. Now, that's the minuses. The plus is that I also have 2 other Ravens, neither of which have a stance on them. My Veteran Commander would look awesome with this, so that's now what's going to become my Veteran Commander stance. The current stance that I have on is this stance. So this is, I think it's called Sharp Raven. So it just changed. I just wanted it to look cool, to be perfectly honest. Like, that's all it is. It doesn't do anything for stats, nothing like that. It just makes it look cool. Now, I do have 2 costumes. They're both the free costumes. One of them is a Henry of Time and Space costume. The other one is the Black Belt costume when they first came out with the costumes, with the full bodysuit costume slot. But there's other ones that have come out that I think are really a lot better. But one thing, and this cog, if you're listening, trust me, you're going to hear, I'm going to bring you guys up a lot in every single Elsword video that I do. And you're going to hear me when we're doing like dungeon runs with the entire guild and all that, probably blasting you guys. But seriously, you need to come out with a costume suit that is like invisible, or that is like something very minute. And the reason why is that, like, look at this right here. This is the Archangel set. This is what my character looks like. It looks so awesome. Like, I really like the Archangel set. And there's like Demon Yaksha, and there's like all these other costume sets that come from these things right here, these ice burners. But there's so many different costume sets that come out that look so great. And then you go and bring out costume suits that cover it all up. Like, you see what I mean? You see why I'm sitting here kind of confused? Like, why make all of these epic, awesome costumes that make your character look so ridiculously overpowered and so ridiculously epic, and then you're going to cover it up with a panda suit? Or you're going to cover it up with a, I don't know, Iron Forge suit. Or with a Karate Ninja suit, which doesn't really look that awesome. Like, it's okay. Like, that's what I mean. So, if they can come out with a costume suit that is literally clear, or that you can put stats on, because that's literally what it is. It's a slot holder for stats. That's what everyone uses them for, etc. So, if you guys were able to come out with one that was 100% clear, or, for example, maybe just at the most covered over the gloves. If it covered over the gloves, or if it changed your hair. Like, just something that didn't cover up the majority of the costume. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I'd be all over that in an instant. 700 Kaching, gone. 800 Kaching, gone. Well, wait, it's a bodysuit, right? What's a full costume cost? Like 2,800 or something? 2,800 Kaching. Boom, I'm going down to Walmart right now. I'm buying up a freaking, well, it wouldn't be a cog card, or it wouldn't be a, Ultimate Game card, because that's gone now. But I'm buying whatever card it is that you currently have that you're advertising, and boom, that's 28 bucks gone. Like, that's how quick I would be on that, just because then I'd be able to add stats and still look as awesome as I currently think I look. I also need to get a weapon skin, because I love the Ninja Blade, but I also would love something that kind of matches all of this a bit better. But anyway, so yeah, that's my take on costumes. But anyway, so you go through here, you're going to see there's different accessories that they always come out. They always come out with something that's actually pretty nice. Like, for example, this is the earpiece, the gorgeous spring flower earrings. You got the pacifier that they got. Got a gorgeous spring. I think I just replaced something. What did I just do? Earrings. Oh, the wing shoe. So that should be on the bottom. Yep. You got back wings become flowers. There's an ornament piece that goes on your weapon. So pretty much if you deck yourself out in the gorgeous stuff, or the spring flower stuff, you will look like, you know, a little bit more fairy-ish, I guess you could say. But at the same time, it does, you know, they do what they can because it looks cool. For, you know, one taste to a next. Now, if I go to usable, as you can see, I can switch over my character to any of these. It would unlock a bunch of stuff, but anything that's Raven specific that is on my character that's like an actual item would be gone. Apparently, I can't try that on. A box filled with many items. Open the box for a chance to acquire Raven's Elsword Party Officer costume. I'm guessing it's not... Well, maybe it is... Well... It's a box filled with many items, so something tells me if you open it, you might or you might not get the permanent one. Which, by the way, this is kind of like an ice burner, except you don't have to have an item attached to it. You can literally just right-click, right-click, right-click. So, a lot of people just try to get these costumes because they are like one-time things, or they just pop up on availability once in a while. And then they're gone. Like, they go into the vault, and they're gone until you next see them again. So, that's the reason why a lot of people jump all over those. But anyway, so those are the premium items. You got the resets here. This is what I'm currently looking to get, is a selected skill reset, but do I really want to do that for that one skill? I think so. Then you got your packages that Elsword comes out with. They come out with a lot of them. They always try to push the next greatest thing, let's put it that way. You got the limited edition pets. They're really cool. Pets, as I said, the best part about them is this right here. You spend $5, you never have to walk over another item again. Your pet will pick up everything that falls on dungeon floor, with the exception of like Essence of Life or the like the Rylai's Fury or whatever, like the things that affect your character directly, like increase your HP or drop lightning on mobs or root things. It won't pick up those, but any ka-ching that's on the ground, gone. Any items that drop, gone into your inventory. Automatic, don't even have to think twice about it. So this is the best part about a pet. You buy this, you buy whatever your hatchling is, or you can just straight up buy the pet as is in the adult stage. You don't have to worry about having to try and feed it the L tree fruit at the right time, etc. So you buy this, done. GG, over. You spend $19.50 and you have a pet that will pick up everything that you don't have to worry about leveling. Kind of simple and easy, if you ask me. The only reason why I don't have either of the eyes on my character is because if you notice, can't really see the eyes of my character unless it's at like a specific angle. And when you're running in dungeon, you don't really get to see my character's face. And it's because of this right here, the good old headgear. So my character's face more so looks like a dragon than anything else, so there's no point in really getting these. But yeah, it's Sharp Raven. That's the one that I currently have, so this is the stance that I currently have. And this is the new stance that they just came out with, so... what's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to, as I said, have my Veteran Commander with this stance, my Raven, or my Blade Master is going to have this stance, and then my Reckless Fist is going to have its normal stance, unless they come out with something for Reckless Fist, and then all of a sudden I'm popping in that money. Now, skill cut-in. I don't know what those are, but apparently those are coming. Or I just wasn't around, because I took a lot of breaks when I played Elsword, so maybe I wasn't around when that was happening. But... oh well. Anyway, so for what we're here for, we are here for a reset, selected skill reset, buy, you pick how many you want, which is just the one. They put me at 708. The only reason why I'm keeping 550 around is because as soon as I get my Reckless Fist to 70, I am not doing that crazy quest. I'd rather spend the $5.50 to get its hyperactive automatically. I don't think there's any skill notes that I need to buy, but if there are, I think they're 150 each, so there might be able to replace like one of them that are on that character. Otherwise, everything else should stay copacetic. And yeah, so I'm going to go right on ahead, click the buy button right here, boom. Chain comes off your account, drops into here, you right click to move it into your inventory, boom. You make sure that you are on the right character that you want. So, you see how, like this right here, this is your character cache item storage. This is available to all of your characters right down here, the character cache item storage. Make sure that whatever character you are on when you are buying things is the character that you want those things to be on. I have heard way too many horror stories of, oh, I just spent 20 bucks to do a complete skill reset and I put it on the wrong character. Oh, I just went and bought a... what else is permabound? I just went and bought a extended quick slot, but I ended up buying it on my alt and I moved it over without thinking. This game makes you have to pay attention. You have to make sure that you know exactly which character you are on before you right-click any of this. Also, when you are selling things, this is one thing that I will never understand, and I don't know why. It's been 2 years. It's been over 2 years, and not a single person has commented, or well, maybe we have commented, but no one at COG or Killer has decided to do this. When you sell an item, you can't buy it back. There is no tab on here that will show a history of items that you have bought that you can then buy back. So if I were for whatever reason to NPC anything here that I wanted to keep on accident, because it happens, that's why every other MMO that I've ever played or ever seen, and this is for like the last, what, 8 years? Every single MMORPG that I've ever seen has a buyback tab right here, or you know, has a page where you go to whatever the item was. Like if it was a weapon, you go to the weapon page and you click this little button and all of a sudden you're over to where you just sold a bunch of stuff. This is the only game for how long it's been in existence that I have never, ever, one time seen a buyback page. Not one time. And I don't understand why. I would love for somebody from Killer or from COG to sit down and explain exactly word for word and get me nodding my head and saying, yes, that makes total sense, why they don't have a buyback option. I've had 3 people that play this game and played it religiously were up until like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning after playing from 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning the previous day, like 24, 48 hours kind of thing. And they switched gear to go into PvP. They came out, they switched gear to go PvE. Their inventory got full. All of a sudden, they're at the NPC just selling off stuff because you get random junk trash drops that drop in dungeons that are worth like 20, 30,000, whatever. You're selling off. Oh, I just NPC'd my PvP weapon. Oh, I just NPC'd part of my PvP set. And every other game, as I said, that I've seen, you were able to just, oh shoot, I did that, let me go quickly and buy it back. Even if it's only, like what, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 things on this page. Even if it has to be within the last 8 items, it gives you 8 chances to buy back that item before it's completely gone. Or even if it was 3, you have 3 chances to get that item back. Or 3 chances to notice your mistake before that item is gone. Like, just something. Because there's way too many kids on here that are spending way too much money that you know COG have mom, dad, whoever's credit card, or people that go to work, come home and play this game. To have something like that happen and not be able to buy it back, it would limit the number of support tickets that keep filing into your inboxes about how, you know, this is gone, that is gone, whatever. You put that into the game and make it viable. Like, not even viable, you just put it into the game just like every other game, and you eliminate that problem. Or if someone does it on accident, like, oh shoot, well, it was like the 4th item. You can literally then fire back. Well, you had 3 chances to buy it back. You should have noticed quicker. Boom, done, problem solved, easy. So, these are just a few of the little things that I know that not only myself, but the entire community has been saying. And I know you guys are listening, just not listening well enough. Like, you gave us hyperactives, you keep giving us new classes, which, by the way, don't even get me started on that. You will hear me rant and rave about them later. But just the little things, the little UI things, the little housekeeping things, the little nuance things, the littlest of things that every other MMO seems to be able to get, which if you just apply a few of those things, I'm not saying to apply everything, because not every MMO out there is perfect. If there was a perfect MMO, no one would be playing this or anything else. Right? Like, if WoW was perfect, there wouldn't be other games similar to WoW. Like, little things like that. So, you guys gotta wake up. Wake up just a little bit. Put the buyback tab in there. Wake up just a little bit. And just stop absorbing in more. And stop trying to push out bigger, grander content. Like, something tells me, you put the buyback function in here, and you can delay the Aura's land that's coming out for the next 3 years, and no one would even notice. No one would even notice, because all of a sudden people are sitting there being like, holy jeez, they just updated the UI where we don't have to, like, we still have to be careful, but we can actually buy back items that we accidentally sell. Holy. You got instant distraction. You can take your sweet time coming out with new content. You can make it as perfect as possible. Because everyone's going to be so wrapped up in the fact that now you have a game system where it doesn't insta-punish people for not paying attention that one time or misclicking or something stupid. Just saying. Think about it. Really think about it. Like, it's been 2 years and I know someone on the forum's been talking about it. Pay attention. Come on now. Community's been shrinking. That's why you imported all the people from Grand Chase. Eventually, when they get fed up of this, from those little things, they're gonna leave too. Wake up. Wake up. Anyway, okay, enough of me ranting and raving. Let me reset this damn skill. So, wow, now I can't even remember my skill button. So this is the skill I want to reset. Skill restore. Click that. Seismic. Oh, right, can't be equipped. Skill restore. Click that. Gone. Alright. Now we got 30 points. We all know where they're going, right in here. Level 6 is the highest level this thing can get to, right? Yeah, okay. Making sure. Alright, so, physical attack power, up by 25%, knockdown reduction, down by 34%. That's the other reason why that passive also kind of becomes useless, because that makes my knockdown reduction about 50. Well, 49. 49% knockdown reduction. Active skill use, 1 second, which means I can spam the Living Daylights out of it. Well, this used to be instant. Active skill use used to be instant, as long as you had the mana. So if you had 300 mana, you could spam this 15 times. Or spam, sorry, this skill right here 15 times in a row. But the 1 second activation, it's a nerf to a point that I don't like, because I used to love being able to sit there and spam that, especially in PvP, but, you know, they gotta take some fun out of the game. Oh, so the other thing, Wolfang. I love this skill. I really do. I love the way it catches people. I love the way how it goes through platforms. I love everything about it, except for the damage. You give us a skill note that makes this cost 10 more MP but ignores all defense. Hits 3 times, can pretty much take off 300,000 off of a boss, or 375,000 I think is what I do with all crits on this. I can't do that with this. I can't take 3 bars off using Wolfang. So it's an unfortunate. It's like the 9th skill. If I was able to have 9 skills, that would be my 9th. By the way, and Power Assault, RIP. RIP. Even with the skill note, which I think I have on this character actually. Real quick, I think I have the skill note. Inventory, skill notebook. Sword uses weakness detected. Lightning dash, efficient thrusting. New stance. Yeah, I do have the skill note on here because I don't have. See, all these others I don't use. Like immune to dizziness, I have on. Pledge of. This I should get. Increases my Bloody Axle duration for longer. So the extra 5 seconds makes it where I can pretty much stack the two of them on top of each other. And it would make it so that I have a skill though that's useful. Apparently we're spending cha-ching today, guys. We are spending that ka-ching. So, usable. Oh, character. Brain fist range and damage increased by 10. Ground impact. And the drill will always be critical. That's cool. That pretty much makes it the same as exploding fists on the L boys. That's actually pretty good. Well, that's per hit, but this burns for every 3 seconds. Perfect burst. Unleash fire 7 times when using 7. Pledge of Blood, that's my Bloody Axle, and then I want to get Thin Slice. Oh, Hypersonic Stab is such a niche skill. If you could bounce around the field just like how Elysis and Aura could, then Hypersonic Stab would be absolutely fantastic, and it would actually make it worthy of, do I pick this or do I pick this? Because you can clear the entire map effectively. You can clear the entire stage nearly with Hypersonic Stab, which would make sense because you're literally moving at the speed of sound. You are bouncing around hypersonically and stabbing all the enemies in the area. So a skill rework like that to make it comparable to the Aura and Elysis blinking dash that they do, 300 MP versus them causing 200, but the 300 MP would, I don't know, a hypersonic stabbing move that is guaranteed to crit, or yeah, this skill is guaranteed to crit or has higher damage because it's a 300 MP versus their 200 MPs. Like, just that alone would make the choice between Bloody Axle and this so much harder. So much harder. And it would make it where having a second skill page just to clear dungeons would be epic. But anyway. And for like dungeons that you don't need the extra HP regen from like fighting bosses and stuff like that, just, you know, like for example, like Behemoth or Heart of Behemoth, or, you know, like just the niche dungeons that you know that you're not going to get hit enough times that you're going to actually need to be able to vamp back HP. That would make a skill page with this on it totally worth it. Anyway. Shockwave cutter size and the number of hits count increase. Again, if you want to go pure damage and you want to catch people in PvP, because you saw how big Mutz's Sword Aura was, that's awesome. But again, the reason why I had Sword Aura usage 1 is because that divider absorbing 5% HP, the 5% average between my physical and magical attack, especially in the first secret dungeon, the Underground Laboratory. You know, when the big robot switches into only magical attacks can hurt him, and you throw out Shockwave and you're a little bit low on HP, you're getting all those hits and you're getting back 515 every single time. Or if I'm in Type H Altera and I throw that out there and I hit multiple mobs, I'm getting all that HP back. Every single hit giving me back 515 HP just because, as I said, my character statted out the way it is. It's a good thing. Oh, and by the way, all these skill notes, you will not be able to find a single one of them drop in dungeon. You actually have to buy all skill notes. Like before, you could find effective thrusting. Before, you could find lightning dash. Before, you could find new stance. Now they are all in here. But anyway, the Running Man, Earthbender, I think Earthbender is the only one that you get now while leveling. The big one, Cannon Blade, blah blah blah. Wound Opener, that's for cut tendon. I used to have that. Weakness Detected is what I have for my Berserker Blade, and Music Dizziness is also what I have for my Berserker. But, Pledge of Blood, there it is. This is what we're doing. 5% or 5 seconds? Sorry about that, guys. I completely just alt-tabbed out and ended up stopping the recording. That was my bad. Anyway, whatever. Quickly buy this. 558. So now I cannot buy anything else until I have money again, or until I have excessive money again. So yeah, so see, like all of these I found when I was running dungeons before. I used to throw these things away like ridiculous. I gotta keep this one for my L-Boy. But anyway, right click this. New stance will be gone. Increase the duration by 5%. So 10% of this is 3.2, so 5% is a little bit less than that. So it probably makes the duration the same amount of time as the cooldown. I think it's like 2 point something. Whatever. It's worth. Anyway. Alright. Yes he can, but you're going to be spamming pots. So it would not be recommended. Not at all. That's the other thing. So the level range is 60 to 70 for these dungeons. Approximate item level is level 90. I called BS on all counts because You want to be level 70 before you run secret dungeons. That way, then none of the mobs in here are going to hit you for increased damage because they're going to be all, I think, level 75. You want your item level over 100 because that means that your average item level is all plus 6 level 70-ish gear, or at least plus 6 gear that's all statted out. So you want to be able to walk into the dungeon and know that you can survive. This level 90 approximate item level means you will survive if you spam all of your HP, MP, everything pots just to make sure, and you don't get hit too much. That's my stand on it, and that's why I don't run secret dungeons until I'm at cap level, because when I hit cap level, it makes it a lot easier, and then it makes you have a reason to run it. Like, I mean, you got so much other stuff going on. Why do you want to waste time by running secret dungeons as well? But anyway, so we just restarted our character. We got Giga Drive Limiter instead of Tremor, so now we're going to have that additional buff, and we're going to have that for an additional 20 seconds, increasing our physical attack power by 25%, make our active skills pretty much instant spammable. We're going to do spike burst damage, which is absolutely awesome. And what usually happens is whenever I use this, when I was playing before, what I would do is I would Bloody Axle, because this lasts for a lot longer. I get up enough damage to then hit Giga Drive Limiter, or enough MP to hit Giga Drive Limiter. Once I have enough MP to hit that, hit an MP pot and hit one of these skills, and that way then I have these two buffs stacked on top of each other, making these all do an additional 45% damage. Additional 45% damage to, well, except for this, because this does magic. But make this do 55 or 45% more damage, 45% more damage, 45% more damage, and this ignores defense. 45% more damage, and I can use it continuously. And now, with Extreme Blade Hyperactive, make this do 45% more damage. Oh, yes. Now, mind you, that will probably imply me having to use Complete Recovery Pot just to get it up there. Oh, and that reminds me, too. And this is a definite plug for COG and all their people, make sure to make a pin. You will get a quest. It will give you recovery potion every day. If you don't need them, you can stack them up. When you stack them up, all of a sudden you have them in quick slots and you can use them. So it's a good thing. It is a good thing. Now, why is it that my music... I don't think my music is right now. Yeah, I think this is the default. Pretty sure it is. If it isn't, then... Well, if it is the default, then I'll change it up. I'll have to go in and make a music folder and make sure that it's in the right spot, and that way then it'll play the music and it's in the folder. But I'm almost positive this is the default Altera music. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is all default. Which is quite interesting, because I swore that I had changed that. Oh my goodness, can you pop Q, please? Oh. These are the moments you want to slam your head against the wall just a little bit. Oh, we got 4 people. I'm also using Secret Buster title. That was another reason why damage was so low. My bad. Well, not low. My damage was normal.